Formula One race cars will head out on the Las Vegas Strip.
We have really invested heavily in working with all the businesses.
They're doing it again. Right now, as Las Vegas prepares for the 2025 Grand Prix, the walls are going back up. The streets are closing. Local businesses are bracing for impact. And after everything that happened last year, including the lawsuits, fan outrage, and thousands of people being kicked out into freezing streets, Formula One learned exactly one lesson. They can get away with it. 9 minutes. That's all the fans got in 2023, before security cleared the grandstands. But while those fans froze outside, champagne kept flowing in the luxury suites just a few hundred feet away. By the end of this video, you'll understand why Formula One's transformation from sport to luxury brand means everyday fans are being priced out permanently. But first, let me show you what's happening on the streets of Las Vegas right now, because it's worse than you think. The 2025 playbook. Same walls, higher prices. Let's be clear about what's happening right now in Las Vegas. The 2025 Grand Prix is scheduled for November. As we speak, Formula One and the Las Vegas Grand Prix organization are implementing the same infrastructure that caused chaos last year. The massive walls that blocked public views are being put back up. The street closures that turned 15-minute commutes into hour-long nightmares, that is starting all over again. The ticket prices that made Vegas the most expensive F1 race in history, they've gone up. But here's what makes 2025 different. Now, they know the formula works. They've tested it. They've survived the backlash. And the numbers told them everything they needed to know. Despite lawsuits, despite fan outrage, despite local business owners losing 40% of their revenue, the 2024 Las Vegas Grand Prix was declared a massive financial success by Liberty Media. So why would they change anything? Now, before I show you exactly how Formula One is expanding this playbook to other cities, if you're getting value from this investigation, hit that subscribe button. But first, you need to understand what happened in 2023, because it's the blueprint for what's coming this year. Section 2. The 2023 disaster. Quick recap. 8 minutes and 36 seconds in, Carlos Sainz's Ferrari hits a loose drain cover at 200 miles per hour. The impact rips the bottom of his car apart. Track officials realize they need to inspect every drain on the 3.8-mile circuit. The announcement comes that everyone needs to leave for safety reasons. Fans paid ridiculous amounts for single-night tickets, and they got 9 minutes of action. Then security guards forced them out, threatening trespassing charges if they didn't leave immediately. Some fans waited 6 hours in 40-degree weather. Then, they were kicked out permanently. And here's the kicker. Formula One ran the session anyway, just without the fans present. Only media personnel, team personnel, and luxury ticket holders were allowed to stay. One local Vegas fan who'd been following F1 for 20 years wrote on Reddit, "The 200+ fees, Thursday-only ticket was the only ticket we could responsibly afford. That kind of money gets you an entire weekend in Melbourne at Turn 1. But despite everything, us local F1 fans were still there in force tonight. We waited 6 hours in the cold for literally anything to happen. And then, they kicked us all out and had the session anyway." What followed was a class action lawsuit alleging negligence. Formula One failed to properly maintain a track it had built for $500 million, forcing paying customers to leave, offering inadequate compensation, and creating a two-tiered system where the wealthy received what they paid for, while everyone else was abandoned. And to make matters worse, the compensation was a joke. They were generous enough to give out merchandise vouchers for fans with Thursday-only tickets, not a refund, but a discount at the gift shop. Imagine you pay $3,000, get 9 minutes, freeze in the cold, and your compensation is 20% off an $80 t-shirt. It gets worse for fans with 3-day passes, because they get nothing. The reasoning is that they still have the rest of the weekend. And that was just the beginning of the nightmare for Las Vegas locals. The walls that divided the city. Here's what the news didn't cover extensively. The real story of Vegas F1 is about walls. In 2023, Formula One erected massive barriers all along the strip, solid walls, sometimes 20 feet high, that completely blocked the view from public sidewalks and streets. Small business owners whose shops faced the strip suddenly had zero foot traffic because nobody could see their storefronts anymore. Tourists who happened to be in Vegas that weekend couldn't catch even a glimpse without paying hundreds or thousands of dollars. The message was clear. If you're not rich enough to afford a ticket, you don't deserve to even see Formula One. Compare that to Monaco, where fans watch from hillsides and restaurants around the circuit. Compare it to Melbourne, where general admission offers massive viewing areas at reasonable prices. Vegas was a masterclass in exclusion. One local business owner reported losing an estimated 40% of revenue during what should have been their busiest time of year.
Do you have a drop in sales during that time?
Yeah, every year we dropping the sale for that month. So big time. So at least 30-40% we are, sometimes is more than that, like close to when we have F1.
The walls went up weeks before the race, destroying their peak tourist season. The Reddit post shed more light on this. It's also bad enough that our local Vegas race has us watching at a worse time than half the season schedule, or that tickets for the weekend were literally more expensive than paddock passes at some EU races, or that they've brought an absolute transportation nightmare to the city for the past 12 months. Formula One closed major streets for months during construction. Commutes that took 15 minutes suddenly took an hour. Buses were rerouted. Traffic became unbearable. The promised economic benefit. Estimates suggested $1.3 billion to the local economy. But economists noted most of that money went to Formula One, Liberty Media, the casinos hosting luxury events, and high-end hotels. Small businesses and local workers saw almost nothing. And now, in 2025, those same walls are going back up. The same streets are closing. The same businesses are preparing for the same losses. Because the lawsuits meant to stop this failed. The lawsuits that changed nothing.
After a disastrous first practice race on Thursday night, some Formula One fans filed a lawsuit against the racing organization. The class action lawsuit filed in a Nevada state court is against the Las Vegas Grand Prix and its owner, Liberty Media.
This is where the story takes a darker turn. Remember the class action lawsuit from fans who were kicked out? The one that was supposed to hold Formula One accountable? In February 2024, a judge partially dismissed it. Two of the original plaintiffs, Matt Radu and Carlos Mauricio Gil, voluntarily dropped out in May 2024. The case quietly fell apart, and those small businesses losing 40% of their revenue because of the walls blocking their storefronts? In August 2024, three of them settled their lawsuits against the Las Vegas Grand Prix settlement terms undisclosed. This would likely mean that they received just enough compensation to go away quietly. And from all this, here's what Formula One learned. You can treat fans terribly. You can ignore local businesses. You can face lawsuits, and it doesn't matter. As long as the ultra-wealthy continue showing up and revenue keeps flowing, there are no consequences. The legal analyst Danny Savalos said something revealing during the 2023 coverage. When you take on a case like this, it is more of an investment. Are they worth you putting money on the front end as a lawyer to try to get the benefit of a judgment or settlement later on? He was being diplomatic. What he meant was, Formula One has better lawyers and deeper pockets than a handful of angry fans and small business owners. And he was right. So Formula One didn't just quietly continue the Vegas race. They declared victory and doubled down. The victory lap nobody asked for. In November 2024, the Las Vegas Grand Prix returned. And guess what changed? Ticket prices went up, the walls stayed up, and the exclusivity intensified. But Formula One improved at exactly one thing, which was managing the PR. They learned to control the narrative early, settle lawsuits quickly, and never apologize. They avoided another drain cover disaster by actually inspecting their infrastructure this time. But everything else that made 2023 a nightmare for regular fans and locals, that stayed exactly the same. Ultimately, their record showed that the 2023 Las Vegas Grand Prix was a financial success, despite everything. Those $5 million luxury suite rentals sold out. The $20,000 Paddock Club packages sold out. The ultra-wealthy showed up, spent their money, and didn't care about fans freezing outside or local businesses struggling. Formula One has spent the last decade transforming from a sport into a luxury brand. Under Liberty Media's ownership since 2017, the focus shifted from growing the fan base to maximizing revenue per fan. It's the same strategy we're seeing everywhere. Concert tickets, Vegas casinos, every entertainment vertical. Don't sell more tickets. Sell the same number of tickets at exponentially higher prices to people who can afford them. The Las Vegas Grand Prix was the ultimate test of this model. Could Formula One create an event so exclusive, so expensive, so dripping with luxury that the ultra-wealthy would pay anything to attend? The answer was yes. And that's why 2025 is terrifying. Why 2025 changes everything. So after months of construction chaos, after forcing locals to suffer, after closing streets and blocking views, Formula One announces its 2025 ticket prices. And you'd think, maybe after all the backlash from 2023, maybe after the lawsuits, they'd make it more affordable, right? Wrong. Formula One did lower some prices for 2025. Single-day tickets now start at $50 for Thursday, $100 for Friday, and $300 for Saturday. 3-day general admission tickets start at $400, which is $200 less than in 2024. Sounds good, but here's the catch. They don't advertise that food and beverages are no longer included with general admission plus, or grandstand tickets. That all-inclusive deal that justified the high prices? Gone. So yes, tickets are cheaper. But now you're paying $725 for a 3-day general admission pass to the T-Mobile Zone and getting absolutely nothing included. No food, no drinks. Just standing room in the desert cold of November. Las Vegas. Want an actual seat? The cheapest grandstand seats for race day Saturday now start at $650 for a single day. That's not for the weekend. That's for one day. The Lewis Hamilton Grandstand, which Formula One is marketing as their affordable option, $875 for 3 days. And if you want a view of the start-finish line, $1,375 for a single day on Saturday. But wait, there's more. Remember those luxury packages I mentioned? The ones where celebrities partied while fans got kicked out in 2023? The F1 Garage experience, which includes pit lane views and food by Gordon Ramsay, costs $25,000 per person. The Wynn Grid Club is $20,000. Paddock Club access starts at $9,500. Let that sink in. A local resident who has just spent 3 months stuck in traffic, lost revenue at their small business, and had to add 30 minutes to every commute, can't afford to actually see the race that destroyed their neighborhood. And Formula One's response? Emily Prazer, the Las Vegas Grand Prix CEO, said, "Our goal has always been to create a world-class event for every fan, and that commitment is stronger than ever in 2025. Every fan, or every fan who can drop $1,000 on a weekend? The choice the fans have to make." So here's the reality check. The anger online, the viral posts, the Reddit threads, they don't change the bottom line. Formula One made money in Vegas. And because of that, nothing will change. They no longer need everyday fans. They only need the people who can drop $5 million on a luxury suite and never notice the chaos happening outside. So what do fans do now? Do we accept that live motorsports are becoming a luxury product? Do we continue to pay and hope things get better? Because Formula One has made its choice, and the 2025 Las Vegas Grand Prix, happening in just a few days, with the same walls, the same closures, and the same exclusivity, proves they're not going back. Currently, crews are completing the temporary Flamingo Bridge. Traffic is gridlocked throughout the resort corridor. Pedestrian bridges are being modified to block free views. And Formula One is celebrating. They're posting on social media about the spectacle, about A-list concerts, about luxury experiences. Meanwhile, the security worker I quoted earlier is adding an hour to his commute. The small business owner is watching another month of lost revenue pass by. The local resident is stuck in traffic, wondering why their tax dollars support an event they can't afford to attend. This weekend, celebrities will sip champagne in $25,000 suites. Influencers will post Instagram stories from the Paddock Club. And thousands of Formula One fans, who had saved for months, will stand in the cold, with no food included, wondering if it was worth it. And Formula One executives will look at the revenue numbers and say, "See, it works." Because they're not measuring success by fan satisfaction. They're measuring it by profit per customer. As long as enough people continue to pay, the model remains viable. So here's my question for you. What do we do when corporations learn they can treat fans terribly and still make money? Do we continue to buy tickets, hoping things improve? Do we walk away and find sports that still value regular people? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you love this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and also check out other videos.